Okay, what do we got here? I see Exorcist. I'm gonna click that first and then think about the rest of the kingdom. Uh, we got it's not the strongest kingdom of all time. We got Village of a Village. Sacrifice technically can also be a village at a cost. Main draw looks like Tragic Hero. You can also draw with the spirits that you get off of Exorcist. Oh, Necromancer Tragic Hero. That's the main thing to do here. Okay, we figured it out. Hmm. You play Tragic Hero, it ends up in the trash. Then your Necromancer can play Tragic Heroes. Uh, those Tragic Heroes can't kill themselves because they're already dead. So there's sustainable source of +3 cards. But also, the gold gain effect of Tragic Hero is not conditional on the trashing it. It's just conditional on the having 8 or more cards in hand. So if you meet that condition, you try to trash it and fail, but still gain a treasure. So your Necromancer just become smithies that print you golds. And that seems like a good thing. Uh, Probably warehouse. I just want to make sure if I'm an exorcist, could just be silver. There's other good things I also want to buy. Guide would not be terrible. Bit of a nothing buy, but guide counters legionary for whatever that's worth. I don't think legionary is likely to come up here soon. And if you have guides, it probably never comes up. If your opponent doesn't have guides, you maybe click legionary to make him buy guides and get an attack once. Uh, Everything but village looks okay. I'm gonna go warehouse. Probably silver now. Don't love this hand. This is a bad hand. If I see my exorcist and my estate turn 4, I'm probably just playing both of those and not playing the warehouse because I don't want to trigger that shuffle. Here's another reason not to play the warehouse. Is it bottom decked? This draw actually hasn't been terrible. The downside I've seen warehouse turn 4, if you haven't seen the other card turn 3, is it would trigger a shuffle and then you're making your own card miss the shuffle. But I managed to hit 3 twice. One of the downsides of an opening like Necromant of Exorcist is that you're likely to hit 2, and I managed to dodge that scenario. So I think this has been at least satisfactory. Devil's Workshop. Hmm. You don't need the imps that badly because Exorcist can gain them, but imps are still okay. And in the short term, it gains 4s, which seems alright. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable buy. Maybe I'll get it if I hit 4 soonish. I think I'm just gonna take a guide for now. Okay, found an estate. Village. I don't, I don't actually have any terminals yet, but I could easily see adding a tragic hero first time I hit 5. I need a second guide that badly at the moment. I think Will-O-Wisp before the other cantrip seems like the generally correct order. If you have a good card 3 from the top, you manage to draw it. Whereas the advantage of the other order is if you have a copper 3 from the top, you would manage to draw it. Obviously, you'd rather find the good card sooner. Okay, I've hit 4. Yeah, I think I'm sold on the Devil's Workshop. It doesn't take much to sell me on Devil's Workshop. I like that card. Oh, what do I have down there? I should know. I got a village down there, don't I? Do I have to call the guide here? The cards I really want to draw all my discard. This is not a bad starting hand because I've got like a decent amount of draw. Maybe I just pitch it anyway. This is a reasonable draw. I didn't from an Exorcist, but I've already trashed all my estates. Tragic Hero, and I think I like Necromancer first. Sacrifice is not a bad card here. It'll be good for killing these coppers. Uh, but Necromancer is more flexible and I don't really have full deck control yet. I might. Hmm. Exorcist trashing coppers is okay. Not as good as Sacrifice doing it. You get nothing back. I could consider discarding Exorcist here, just to make sure I hit 5 again if I want to. I want a Tragic Heroes in the trash shoot, which you really want is in the Necromancers. I could also keep it in hand, maybe trash the silver, and then buy like a village or something. That might sound better. Let's do Zombie Spy, leave you on top. Goodbye, Tragic Hero. Ooh, do I play this Will-O-Wisp? I don't have a guide down. Where's my guide? Oh, was it last turn that I called the guide? Oh, so then the guide's on top of my deck. This is fine. Yeah. I was really worried about triggering a shuffle full of coppers, but there was a guide sitting right there. Okay. I'm not sure what to do here. 7 is nothing special. 6 is nothing special. I think I'd rather turn the silver into an imp. Oh, shoot. I think I'd ideally rather the Devil's Workshop be gaining 4s rather than imps still. But I've already gained a gold. So if I buy even one thing, speaking of which, why is that gold bottom deck? That's rude. Um, if I buy even one thing, I'm getting an imp either way. So I'm thinking maybe then just village plus sacrifice, village plus necromancer. I do want to sacrifice at some point and trash the copper. I don't need the imp that desperately, given that I'm getting it off of Devil's Workshop anyway. I like the village. A guide would not be a bad answer either. I'm not gonna have a guide next turn. I'll take sacrifice now. Yeah, this hand is terrible, which is good news for me because it means all the terrible cards are gonna be at the bottom. Hakha will at some point make his contribution to the trash pile, and then you'll want at least 2 necromancers to play those 2 tragic heroes every turn. Uh, he still has an estate left, and we both trashed 1 copper. I think I'm a little bit ahead here. Not sure why exactly. He must have just had slightly worse draws over there. We've done very similar things. I mean, I don't think I'm decisively ahead or anything, but I think I'd firm a position here by a hair. This might be the last estate dying now. A hand. Hello, new hand. I need a village. Where's my village? There's a village. Will-o-wisps, you didn't do a good job. I'd rather turn the silver into an. I still think. Hmm. In general, I think Exorcist trashing silver feels better than Exorcist trashing copper. The value of getting spirits in your deck is higher. The thing that makes that less clear here is I got these Devil's Workshop imps already. I can turn the silver into a Will-o-wisp, which is okay. Let me see whether the money makes a difference. I will for sure be sacrificing 1 copper and having 8 money, right? Yeah, 100% I hit 8 next turn. Just a question of whether I want a silver in my deck or a copper in my deck. I really don't think I care about the money, right? I'm going to get all these golds off of Tragic Heroes anyway. So I think I'd rather just add another draw card to my deck sooner rather than later. I mean, I could even consider ghosts here. Ghosting? Oh, yeah, yeah. Maybe I turn a gold into a ghost soon. Buy Tragic Hero, ghost it. You get 6 cards and 2 golds. That's a nice thing to do. I'll be thinking of buying a Tragic Hero here. One of these buys ought to be Necromancer. Could be 2 Necromancers. I think I like the sound of 2 Necromancers. First 2 I find can be Tragic Heroes. Third one can Zombie Mason something probably. Sounds good. Wouldn't hate another village as well. I think I like the Necromancers more. I'm taking a Will-o-wisp, I think. Slightly worse card than an Imp right now, but I think I'm just going to have a surplus of Imps. Ooh, that's tragic. Not necessarily a bad buy, but that feels like a very reactionary buy. Oops, I just dudded because I didn't have a village. Let me overcompensate. Good job, Will-o-wisps. This is why I sing your praises. Ah, whew. I half a mind to sacrifice the guide just to double my chances of having a real turn. No, 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 no. That's too risky. If I sacrifice the guide and then don't draw into a good turn, I've just seen both of my villages, which means that next hand is going to be absolute garbage. Well, for the most part, it has imps, and I could maybe trigger shuffle and find the villages, but highly risky. I'd rather get the guide down. Yeah, this didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but now I can at least call the guide next turn and salvage that turn. Probably buy another Necromancer, turn the sacrifice into another Will-o-wisp. I could trash the copper and do gold into ghost as well, would be the alternative. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I like that better. Nothing to do with 2 money. Me a ghost. Yeah, I think I call the guide here. Necromancer is the card I really want to find, but I want to find it with a village so I can play it as Tragic Hero. How is your Tragic Hero not dead yet? You need to get on that, Haka. This is free writing. I bought a Tragic Hero, and then I put it in the common pool of cards that we can both play with. Haka, greedy little feller, is selfishly holding on to his. Yeah, that's a lot of villages you have there, Haka. I mean, I do want villages, but I mean, Ghost is a village. It's not a big deal if I lose the split. Sacrifices a village at a cost. I would not lose any sleep sacrificing my will-o-wisps for villages as necessary. More guides. Yeah, I could use a second guide. Okay. Gain me a gold. Huh. What do I do here? I'd like to play both my. Oh wait, there's still only the one tragic hero in the trash. I keep assuming that there's gonna be two. I assume too much of Haka. I was considering sacrifice Will-O-Wisp now so I could play Necromancer's Tragic Hero. That's not even a legal play. Let's do Will-O-Wisp first. Good job, Will-O-Wisp. So I knew you could do it. I always believed in you. Now we'll do Zombie Spy. Where's my village? There's my village. Now pitch a bunch of cards. So probably play village, trash one copper off the top, play sacrifice. Doesn't matter that I'll still be top decking one copper in that scenario because Ghost will clear it off again. Is there anything else of interest I could do with the Necromancer? I mean, conceivably, I could discard something else and try to top deck it for a Zombie Mason, but I only have a 1 in 3 chance of hitting the card that I want if it's not a copper. This line would lead to me having 8 money again. I wouldn't guarantee that the Ghost hits Tragic here because I could play it before the Devil's Workshop if I don't want. Yeah, I'm thinking about buying a Tragic Hero in a village, and I think it's 50-50 whether the Ghost hits the village or the Tragic Hero. I don't think there's a way to make those odds better unless I would just prefer to buy Tragic Hero in silver, which maybe I do. Um, I think I still like this line in general. Oh, actually, shoot. I want another Ghost. Kind of forgot that. So then I should probably. Yeah, that's fine. That means I just buy Tragic Hero then. I'm okay with that. Entirely okay with that. Don't gain Tragic Hero. Ghost first. I don't want to put an imp in there, otherwise the ghost could have hit that, which, I mean, that'd be fine, but it's less good. I didn't want to put a ghost in there because then there's a high risk the ghost gets top decked, and that's not where I want the ghost to be in my deck, even though I'm like, almost certain to draw here with 6 cards of draw coming in. I think I'm a little bit in the lead. Haka is. He's got plenty of villages. He is not likely to dead again in the same manner. Okay, there we go. Haka's finally pulling his weight. Once there's a bunch of tragic heroes in the trash, you could always buy a necromancer and have Ghost hit that. The trouble is, like one necromancer playing 2 tragic heroes flips 2 over in the trash, and then you run out of those quickly for your other necromancers. Just yesterday, I think, I had a nice kingdom that had exorcist, necromancer, crypt, and rats all in the same kingdom. And it had bishop for the rats. There's a lot of neat stuff. And then I managed to misplay it and leave 1 card left to try and pile out. And I just totally threw that game, and it was so tragic. So let's not repeat that here. 16 is a big number. I think I'm back to also do a big number. How's the end game of this going to look? Necromancers and villages are probably going to run. There's not an imminent third pile. We have a decent amount of plus buy, so estates become a threat. Alliance is a lot of points at the cost of debt control. I think I'm happy to have two ghosts because ghosting a card is a good way to make sure you don't dud, even better than just like having a guide down. And that makes it, I think, a little bit easier to justify shoving just a ton of crap in your deck. The big benefit of Alliance is just it's a very efficient amount of points for the money. You're getting 10 points for 10 coins is a great rate at the cost of just absolutely polluting your deck. But I think like, if you ghost a Tragic Hero and then have a warehouse or two to sift past all the green, you can afford to add on Alliance. I'm not sure where this is going to end on provinces or not. I think more likely to three pile given the amount of plus buy. It could easily be like you start clicking Alliance and then you're safe from pile outs, and that just pushes it into a province end game. I don't know. There's also a lot of money. There's a lot of buys, which makes like an estate pile out easy. There's also a lot of money. So you easily do like quad province here. No sweat. In fact, I mean, I think this game is suspiciously close to ending. These decks don't feel close to it right now, but like they're going to escalate very quickly now that we've got this Tragic Hero Necromancer stuff going on. So, for example, I don't think there's likely to be time to take a second ghost with the Exorcist, or at least a third ghost, a second in one turn, because I don't think there's time for that to pay off. In fact, this probably is not time for Hakha to get a ghost at all. But he has more guides and such. He doesn't have a warehouse. I think there's a higher risk that Hakha does. Not from lack of villages, but maybe he doesn't find his draw cards. All right, really thinking about what he wants at 16. Uh, what do I think the answer is? Some number of necromancers, surely, right? Oh, okay. Okay, you can have Hakha. You can have all the villages you want. Um, so clearly he did not need those villages. He's just decided he really wants to try to stop me from having those villages. That actually might be a case for getting another ghost. Or just sacrifice exists. I don't believe in that strategy. Or maybe I'm misreading them. Maybe he just watched that one Dominion guide that says gain all the villages. Uh, it's good advice. You win the village split, you win the game. Sometimes, maybe. I clicked too quickly. Maybe I should think about this a little bit more. Here I could consider gaining and playing something with Necromancer, maybe. What would I want to gain and play? I don't know. He has a guide. I could Legionary him. Like, if I really want to make that happen, I could definitely play a Legionary this turn. The fact that he's got a guide in his Tavern map makes that less appealing. Like, maybe this is a good hand, and then Legionary forces him to guide into a bad hand, where he has no villages. You never know. That might be more trouble than it's worth. I like pitch a bunch of things that cost 4 with the warehouse. I really should have done the warehouse sooner. It's silly to draw this many cards and then play the warehouse. I'm just wasting draw here. It's probably not a big deal, but my necromancers could gain me more golds. The bottom card is a gold as well. If I play sacrifice and trash, probably the Will-O-Wisp can die. Then I can play all 3 necromancers. What do I want them to do? I can gain and play 2 more golds, and then my third necromancer could gain a gold but not play it. And I don't think zombie masoning the gold looks great. Maybe zombie masoning gold is fine even. And I don't think I want to trash a gold because any gold that I could trash, I could also draw and just have the money to buy whatever action I was trying to gain off of trashing the gold. I think the legionary thing is just not worth it. I think the answer is probably just gain a million golds, and then I would have 9, 11, 17 money plus an extra gold that I didn't get to play. Or maybe I play. Yeah, I think I'm playing the sacrifice for the village effect and not trashing the copper, which is fine. Oops, that's not the button I meant to click. Getting gold. I could also, like, I was thinking sacrifice Will-O-Wisp. Ah, I miscounted the actions actually. I forgot that I was in the middle of resolving it. I have one more action play than I thought I did. I got to rethink the whole thing. And I could just Necromancer, one more gold, draw it, sacrifice a copper. And that's okay. Do I want more imps in my deck? They're gonna run low on targets. Not that that's a big deal. Yeah, no, I can sacrifice imps. That's fine. Yeah, I'm happy to have more imps. So I'm pretty sure I want to do this. Okay. So the extra action actually means I could sacrifice Will-O-Wisp, play Necromancer as the last Tragic Hero, gain another gold, and draw it, which looks a lot more appealing because it means I get 3 more money now. Or I could just draw this gold and sacrifice a copper and leave a Necromancer unplayed. I don't think I care enough about trashing these coppers. I think I want the money. I trust in my deck. Goodbye, Will-O-Wisp. A guide down. So now I'm going to reconsider whether I need that ghost. I can certainly get by without it and just buy more sacrifices and sacrifice things, and that's okay. I'll cannibalize the imps and the wisps, but I have no qualms with that. If I play the gold, I have 19. I like that's a big number. If I play the copper and trash the gold, I have 17, which is still a pretty big number. If I trash the gold now, buy something, I play the next ghost. Is it more likely that I win in 2 turns? Probably. So I really don't mind taking another ghost. Oh, Hawkeye has ghosts. No, he doesn't. There's 4 in the pile. I had brain fart there. There's 6 ghosts. I have 2. Hawkeye has none. A ghost next turn will be pretty darn good for securing a win in 2 turns, because then I could just ghost like 2 tragic heroes and have a beautiful turn. But I'd have 1 less gold in my deck, and I'd have less money now, so I'd be buying fewer things immediately. And I'm just gonna do this. I'm not worried enough about the villages. I'll buy sacrifices or something and make do. Um, so probably another necromancer, another sacrifice. Do I want another tragic hero? If I could guarantee that the ghost hit it, that'd be beautiful, but I don't think I can. Could be like tragic hero and 2 more 3 costs. Could be like necromancer sacrifice and a 3. Hmm. Yeah, there's gonna be good actions in the trash. I think I like leaning more on the necromancer side of things. And I don't think Hakka's threatening pile out right now. If I take 2 necromancers, am I threatening to pile out? That leaves piles fairly low. I don't think in Hakka range, if I'm mistaken. I have 4 necromancers. He has 3 necromancers, it looks like. All the tragic heroes. I think he's got like 4 buys. Yeah, I don't think he's threatening to pile out. I would like another necromancer and a tragic hero. Enough to play this copper over the trashing it, maybe? You do necromancer, tragic hero, and a guide. Yeah, this is fine. I'm going to do it this way. Necromancer sacrifice, tragic hero, necromancer. These piles are low, but I don't think they're in pile out range. And I can use this exorcist to trash the devil's workshop. That's not a big deal. Um, I get an imp out of it either way, and I think I'm happy to have that devil's workshop not be in my deck anymore. I don't think Haka's deck does enough because it's just oops all villages, and I don't think it's done enough damage to my deck to take those villages. I think I'm in the lead here. Hope I'm not wrong about him only having 4 buys, but I have to be severely, egregiously wrong for a pilot to exist. I think game 3 is the most interesting game. I'm so sad that I lost that one. Uh, I'm guessing I probably won't have enough games to pile. Uh, Unless Haka does something reckless here. But I think it at least puts him in the position of having a slightly awkward set of buys, because like you'd probably ideally want more necromancers, for example, and it's risky to take them now. So he probably has to score some number of points, and I'll respond by scoring some number of points. And then my hope is to lower provinces enough that I'm threatening to end the game on provinces the next turn. I think my deck should have a lot more money than his. It's tough because these decks just generate a bunch of money naturally playing the Necromancers. So like, we'll have 9 more money next turn than I did this turn. One thing I should also look out for, but might not have enough support for my deck to do, is gain and playing something off of Zombie Mason for piling. Like if I have too few buys naturally, but I'm trying to pile out Necromancer and Tragic Hero or something, I could Mason something into Tragic Hero, draw that, and play it for extra buy. That probably relies on having more villages than I do. What did I start my turn last turn playing? Was it a Tragic Hero? Yeah. So I will have less draw but more villages this time because I ghosted a cantrip rather than a terminal action card. So I'll have 2 more actions to work with. Hopefully still enough draw. How many buys am I likely to have? Uh, there are 3 Tragic Heroes in the trash. So if all the Necromancers play that, that's 4 buys. Plus a Tragic Hero brings it to 5 buys. Plus a Necromancer playing that Tragic Hero brings it to 6 buys. Could I get to 48 money? That might be pushing it. That's probably unrealistic, right? Well, I had 20 money last turn, and then the line I was just considering involved playing 5 more Tragic Heroes. That's still only 15 more money. Yes, I don't think I can in on provinces here. What all did I add? I only added 1 more Tragic Hero. I don't even think I could do 5 provinces. I think the realistic maximum output on my deck is probably like 38. I again, I'm a little bit village capped, but conceivably if I drew my deck, I could use Zombie Mason to gain a thing, like gold or something. Play that. Not clear to me what the goal of my next turn should be. I won't have enough buys, I don't think, to pile out. I don't have enough money to empty provinces. But I do have to be cautious about Hakha over my provinces. He only had 21. You don't want an imp? Oh, he's got a yeah, he's doing the same thing I did. And by necromancer, I meant exorcist. So he had 21 money. That's funny. The ghost played the guide at the start of the turn, so you could actually, if I do this, I can immediately call the same guide that I just played because it's still the start of turn period. Not that I want to guide this hand. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, Akka had 21 money. If he plays 4 necromancers, he could have up to 33 money, which means leaving provinces at 4 is not very safe. He'd also have 5 buys to work with, looks like. He doesn't have any more tragic heroes. 5 buys is not enough to pile out. I don't think I'm looking at a win. Try to start by doing a bunch of this stuff. Play village. Play another tragic hero. Get a gold. I'm gonna make a note to think before I get all the way into my shuffle in case I want to do stuff with warehouse or zombie mason. I think the first few of these plays are pretty natural looking. Really sacrificing at least 1 will-o-wisp. Play 1 will-o-wisp just so I can figure out what's going on. Yeah, with the sacrifice. Then I have how many golds in the discard? 1, 2, 3, 3 golds. So I got 4 golds down there, counting the one that's on top of my deck right now, which means I have 9 golds, which makes for 27 money, plus 2 more money. Okay, it's a decent-ish number. I have actually a lot of actions left because I've got so many villages to work with. And there's looks like 2 more tragic heroes I can play. Can I pile? I don't think so. Because I'd have to score a bunch while piling out. It would take me at least 2 buys to overcome Hakka's points lead with like Alliance plus Province. So I would need like 9 gains. I play both of these tragic heroes, or both these necromancers as tragic heroes. I get up to 6 buys. Let's say I sacrifice something for a village. Which one? Then I play Necromancer, trashing a gold, gaining a Necromancer. Then play that Necromancer for plus buys. Out of 7 buys, I think that's 1 buy short, right? 5, 6, 6. Out of 7 buys, Necromancer would be empty, but I would need at least 7 buy or 8 buys to do 6 guides, plus an alliance, plus a province. I imagine there'd be enough money because I have a million golds, but I'm not even sure that the numbers work out on the money. So I'm thinking there's no pile out. So I think my goal here is buy 1 province, probably as an alliance. I don't think 2 provinces is safe because Hakha in a good scenario can hit quadruple province. He has 2 guides down, so legionary doesn't do very much here. So 1 province, some number of duchies, and then some extra actions for ghosting and whatnot. And then I try to win on the following turn. And a gold. And a gold. So probably sacrifice something, gain 1 more gold, and draw it. Did I? Oopsie. I thought I saw an unplayed Tragic Hero a second ago. I counted 2 earlier, and I thought I saw another one, and I guess I confused myself. I'm just going to undo that. I think this is reasonable. I was thinking what the bottom card was. My confusion was apparently about reading the trash pile. So I'm probably just going to trash a copper. Can I realistically put a Necromancer on top of my deck? Let's say I play a Warehouse and discard Necromancer 2 coppers, and then I play a Will-O-Wisp. What happens? If the Necromancer is on the bottom, it stays there. If the Necromancer is on top, I can draw it and cantrip it. The Necromancer is second from the top. Then it's mildly awkward, but fine, because I would have a Necromancer on top. I would just wouldn't draw the last copper. Do I want... Yeah, I think I want to do that. I'll do it this way. Then if that bottom card is an imp, I'm also fine. Okay, well, this is actually... I cut the odds of this happening in half by putting an imp down there, but I managed to draw the imp and still leave a copper on the bottom. I can't play the imp because I can't play either the sacrifice or the necromancer off of the imp. Okay. Oh wells. All right, so alliance seems like a given. I'm gonna be annoyed if I'm 1 money shy of what I end up wanting to buy. How many buys does Hakha have? Hakha has a decent number of buys. So I should probably take a points lead. Oh, this is a little bit risky, right? It's not that risky. Hakha has 5 gains, right? He had 3 necromancers. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 necromancers in play. 1 on my deck, that's 5. Yeah, he has to have maximum 4 necromancers, which is absolute maximum 5 gains because he has 0 tragic heroes. Well, it's 5 non-necromancer gains. You could always do the zombie mason something into necromancer and play that. So lowering duchies further, I think, is not actually safe because there is a possible scenario where he gains a necromancer and gains 5 duchies. Lowering provinces is not safe, but I do have a points lead. So I think I just buy a bunch more action cards here. Just like more tragic heroes and sacrifices. This necromancer or this exorcist isn't really doing anything. I could maybe convert a gold into an extra action card. Okay with 17 money. 17 could be like tragic hero and 3 fours. That sounds okay. Maybe I should have called the guides before, or called a guide before doing the ghost. I wouldn't mind having just an extra action on my deck to sacrifice and guide the good target. Obviously, that is long since past. Yeah, I think I value another draw card more than another gold. I'm gonna have so many golds. Just too many golds. Gotta watch out for the gold pile out, actually. I don't think Hakha can pile golds, but I could pile golds after Hakha gains much golds. Yeah, let's just put this many golds in play. I'll turn the gold into a Will-O-Wisp. Um, Alliance, 1 more duchy, tragic hero, I got a points lead, so I don't think there's any way for him to do 5 tragic heroes and score. No, there is. Because he could gain a tragic hero. For the same reason the necromancer doesn't really count. I can't lower tragic heroes anymore. That's fine. I could take 2 sacrifices, just okay. And then another warehouse, maybe? And just another will-o-wisp. 1 second. Alrighty, I am back, and I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so I don't think there's any possible win here where Hakha ends the game this turn, unless I miscounted something. I don't think he can do 5 provinces. I don't think he can do enough games to do anything else. Uh, I think it could be the case that he just scores enough points that I can't beat it. Like, what happens if he just does triple alliance? Is that enough points to win? I don't know. Should know this. How many points is half points? Oh, yeah. Shoot, this just might be a loss. I didn't even think about this until I spent so much time on this and just totally. I think triple alliance is just a win, right? Oh my goodness. We both trashed all of our starting estates. So with exactly 80 points in the piles, I think 41 points is enough to win. Whoopsie. So yeah, if he hits 30, he wins. And that was just a silliness by me. I think that sounds reasonable to do. I think I was definitely in the lead. And I think I might have just severely misplayed one or both of these last 2 turns. Hopefully he can't hit 30. Maybe I'm overestimating his deck, but it would not surprise me if he hit 30. Don't know if there's a good way for me to play around triple alliance last turn. I think the answer is maybe I should have just scored a turn sooner. And maybe the real mistake was, what turn is this? It was turn 12. I think maybe one of these buys should have been a province already, or alliance. I don't know. I think this is a loss. Looks like he's just about drawn his deck. Yeah, I lose. Yeah. Better not have an extra pressure that you're not playing Haka. I thought he had 33 money. I must have miscounted something. Did he not oh, he must not have activated one of his tragic heroes, right? Clearly I miscounted by more than one thing. Because if you, yeah. So he didn't gain a gold off of this one. That still only gets him to 32. There's also one other coin I'm not accounting for somehow. He had 21, and if he added 4 golds, he would be at 33. And he's missing that by 5. Oh, did he sacrifice a copper last turn? That's probably the other place my math was wrong. Yeah, so he didn't gain a gold that he could have, and he has 1 less copper than he did last turn. So that's why I was off by 4. Okay, so yeah, I think I misplayed this, and I think Hakka just got fairly unlucky. All he had to find was, for example, 1 imp in his starting hand, and he plays imp, village, necromancer. Then the first tragic hero activates. Then he's hitting 32 instead of 29. Maybe that's not true. He is drawing exactly here. Maybe if he added 1 gold, he wouldn't have been able to draw it. I'm not sure if there's additional draw cards in his hand he's not playing. There's 2 provinces, 1 exorcist. I'm guessing the other 2 cards are unplayed actions of some sort. He's gonna crash a silver to exorcist. So I'm still not entirely out of the woods yet. Right? 38 is beatable, but not trivial. If I draw my deck, I should win. Guide this, right? This hand is mediocre. I mean, it does have 2 villages in it. And you know, I like villages. I'm gonna see 6 more cards. Would I rather put 3 golds on the bottom, but also put 2 of my villages on the bottom? 2 villages on the very bottom of the deck sounds like too much of a problem, I think. Because they're also going to be in a discard pile full of golds that I might not draw back around to. So I think I'm going to stick with the starting hand. In a gold. In a gold. Imp. Village. Sacrifice a will-o-wisp. Imp. Necromancer. Okay, yeah, I should be winning here, I would think. Imp. Warehouse. Discard a bunch of junk. Gain a gold. Are we running out of imp targets? This imp might just die. No, there's a tragic hero. The imp lives. Hey, look, the gold pilout's gonna happen. Have fun. Gain a gold. One more warehouse. Sacrifice a will-o-wisp. Am I out of tragic heroes to play? I am. So I guess I maximize my draw by doing Zombie Apprentice on the sacrifice. To pile out. Okay. That was a close one. I I don't think that the village denial play from Hakha made any sense. Like did not feel very village constrained there, but I also very nearly managed to throw the game myself with I think meaning just one turn too late. And Alliance is tricky. I think it makes the math weird in a lot of ways, and I think Alliance is a good reason why I should have scored maybe a little bit sooner than I did.